Grinders, it's your boy Pokewinger back in the grind. Guys, back from vacation, back to kicking butt on POKERSTARS Ontario. I have 2 games to play for you. I just played at the $50 spin and goes, and then I'm going to give you an update on the new bankroll. As you can see, we were opening up our last 1 to 2 tickets at the $50 spins. If you watched the last video, we had all the rewards from the month of August. It is now the month of September. So I was opening up the last few tickets here from the rewards that we earned. I just got back from a family vacation for the last couple days. It was really nice, and I'm back on the grind. So we have a fun player labeled Red that we like to see, and the guy on the left, I battle the most on POKERSTARS Ontario. He is the player that gives me the most trouble. He has also won a $250,000 spin and go already on POKERSTARS Ontario. He's ran very, very well versus me. Seems to get a big spin every single night. But nonetheless, he is a solid player and someone that we battle at the hundreds, at the 50s, at the 25s. He is also in the daily leaderboards, and I would consider he is the best player I play against on this site. So we see him a lot. So I adjust a lot to him. He's adjusted to me. I've watched him play other players where he's not playing me, and we're definitely both having a level war, kind of just adjusting our play versus each other. So sometimes you'll see me do plays versus him you won't really see me do. In general, in a big player pool and spin and goes, I don't think you have to worry about being too balanced that you have to worry about like the $500 spins. When you're playing $25 spins and 50s, for the most part, you could stick to a strategy that tends to work over the masses. But once you start playing players all the time, you do have to be a bit more balanced. So because him and I have we have over 10,000 hands played already on this site, we do things a little different versus each other. And then against other players, I keep it kind of more simple. And there's some players I play every single night, the same people, but they're not adjusting to me. So until they adjust to what I'm doing, I don't really have to adjust my strategy. So the player on the left here, he's adjusted to me quite often. So then I have to do counter adjustments, right? But for the most part, most people only play their cards. They don't really care who they're playing. It's kind of like the first level of poker is you look at your own hand. And then the more you mature as a player, you start worrying about what the other person has, and then you keep evolving of not just what he has, but what does he think I have, and then and you just keep kind of going up from that level of the more you improve of what ranges you're putting each other on, what ranges are you actually trying to tell, but what you'd actually kind of have, and you kind of develop your own stories that you do. So here's our second game started here. Kind of just rambling on for you guys. I told you the month of September I won't be playing as much as I did last month, but we still tend to play poker. My goal is still to get to $20,000 in the bankroll. The overall goal this month is to not so much play 6 tables at a time, especially if I'm moving up in stakes here. I want to go for more quality of play, not quantity, that I did last month. Try to fix some of my leaks. I do want to get into studying. I've been looking at some tools that I want to start using. If I end up picking one, I'll share with you guys. I've dabbled at some charts here. I've told you before I watch Twitch, I watch YouTube channels, but I do want to invest in one point the right spin and gold tool that will fit kind of my style of play, and something that we all learn in different ways, something that I actually find enjoyable to learn. If it's something complicated and not fitting my style learning, then there's no point of buying it. So once I have a chance to exploit some of these free trials, like a 7-day free trial on a couple of them, I'll download a couple, try a couple out, and then if I feel like one of them's one we want to invest in, then we'll do that. And I don't mind sharing that journey along with you guys, what I'm downloading and what I'm doing. I'm a little guarded in the information that I used to be. When I played Grand Tour and other stuff from the global one, the player pool was so big, I really didn't care what I'm saying. This player pool in Ontario is so small, and most players have talked to me on a nightly basis that I play against. So because it's so small, I'm a little guarded of what I'm saying, especially as I move up in stakes here. But nonetheless, we'll definitely share some juicy tips for you guys. Here I check raise on table 1 there. That's based on the history we're talking about. So his bet size there and what I'm doing there is just over 10,000 hands playing each other. He could be betting that maybe based on what he sees me doing, but some of these bets will look a little different to you guys, what I've been trying to explain. That guy on table 2 bet over pot there. We decided to float with the backdoor hearts, and the king high kicker is kind of relevant for that 9, because if I didn't put him on an ace or a draw, I definitely want to have a good kicker for even a middle pair. So we do get the backdoor flush on table 2. We jam it. And just note, look at that, he did bet over pot with an ace on that board, which is pretty strange bet, and that's why I have that player labeled red. It's almost like he's screaming at you not to call. So he's got top pair. Yes, you do want people to chase when they're on a draw, on like a board that's really wet. So if I had a flush draw there, you do want to size up a bit, but it's not in general a board you'd want to bet over pot on the flop there. At least it's not a general play I'd want to do. Here on table 1, we do get lucky, but for one big blind, just so you know, you should never ever be folding any 2 cards you have. So it was one big blind for us to call. If you looked at our Nash chart, you'll see, I think the sweet spot is like anything below 2.6 or 2.5, right around there. You shouldn't be folding under. We flop and flush against our nemesis, and now we're down to 1 game versus him. This player has owned my soul many nights. He's beat me on majority of our big spins. He's beat me on a few 10x's at the $100, a whole bunch of 5x's and stuff at the 50s. He's I'm not saying he's not a bad player. He's just definitely been on the lucky side. Part of me running bad last month was a huge part playing versus him, because he's who I play against the most, and he's also who I play the most at the higher stakes. Most nights when him and I sit at the hundreds, it's him and I just sitting there. We wait for the third person to play. That third person will play us a handful of times. They disappear, and him and I just sit there and wait for other people. And that's pretty much my experience at the $100. It's there is the odd game we play without him, but majority of the time, if I'm playing the hundreds and it's the time frame that I play in the evenings, it's versus him and someone else. And it's kind of good to know that we're at the top of the food chain, just waiting for new people to sit down. We had a guy last week who sat down for about 8 games in a row. The guy came in 3rd place in all 8 games, and then he disappeared. So he could think it's rigged, but little does he know he's just playing against guys who grind every night. So guys, we ran pretty hot. I didn't talk too much strategy there, but I did want to show you the bankroll. We're at $17,414. That's from using the rewards in the account from the last video. I will close this and just open up this. I did mention in the last video, I didn't show you guys, POKERSTARS does have a new challenge out that will give us more rewards in the account. I haven't had an opportunity really yet to get much money off this, but in case you don't know what this is, we'll open this up. And they still have the leaderboards. I'm going to play the 25s tonight. So it's called Chest and Ladders. You open this up, and basically, the more you play, the more rewards you get. You get dice, and then you roll the dice, and you might land on these boards. So as you can see, I'm roughly halfway. Unfortunately, so far, you start at the 1. I've only got 1 of these chests, and it's worth a $10 ticket. I'll show you what it is in a second. But as you can see, you work your way up. If you get lucky, you land on a lot of chests, and you have a chance of winning tournament tickets, some money and stuff. It says up to a $30,000 reward. So it's just you're playing anyway, so why not just click start and you just play. I'll show you the ticket we did earn. So we're down to 1 ticket left at all the ones you guys see me play last time. I told you I had about $17,000 worth of equity there, and turns out we were roughly right. So we have a $10 satellite ticket. The problem is it's a satellite to play in tournaments, which I don't want to play. But I thought about this earlier. Last month I won about 10 tickets from our last chest rewards, and I let them all expire. To me, I'm just losing rake by doing that. So I literally might just click on this $10 satellite ticket to unlock a little bit more points to my chest, even if I don't even play it. Why would I let it just expire? So I might just literally click start, and then because it gives me, it's $10 more going to my buy-in. So I know it sounds really cheap, but it's just plus EV to click start and let it earn me points. So guys, that's the summary for you guys. We are at $17,414. We're going to $20,000, and I'm telling you right now, we will do it by the end of September, guaranteed. I'm gonna call it the way it is, because if we do run bad, we will also get rewards, and we're just gonna make it happen. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Smash the like button. Peace out.